Excuse me. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Vinyl Treasures. I'm your host, Johnny G. John Galindo, coming to you live each and every Wednesday, only here on Oldies and More Radio, also live on YouTube. Want to welcome you to the All 60s edition this May 31st, 2023, the last day of the month. Can't believe we're almost halfway through the year already. But Johnny G had a little bit of a late start today. I was in Newark, New Jersey at McGovern's Pub. One of the gals I used to work with, Denise Crombie, she was, her retirement luncheon was today. So I was there till about, I got home around 4 o'clock, was rushing to prepare for the show here. But it was nice seeing a lot of those people there that I haven't seen in a while since I left the company in May of last year. So it's been about a year since I've dealt with a lot of the people there, but it was a lot of fun getting together with those guys and gals. But welcome to the All 60s edition featuring Soul 45's out of Johnny G's collection. We opened up tonight with a jazz flutist that you heard on that. Jazz flutist, tenor saxophonist, and clarinetist from Brooklyn, New York. His real name is Herbert J. Solomon, but he recorded as Herbie Mann, and many of his releases came out on the Atlantic Jazz series. If you have that series, a lot of them were on the Blue and Silver, because I got a few of them in my collection. Blue and Silver Atlantic records. A lot of his records were on that label, 5,000 series, I think. But he had a few of them on the, I guess you can call it 10 of them were on the R&B Pop series, the 2000 series. This was his third of 10. It's actually a cover song. This tune dates back to 1945 as done by Joe Liggins, I think on Exclusive maybe. Charlene, I think you had that. But this one arranged by Jimmy the Whiz Wisner. The song was called The Honey Dripper. Was from January 1967. Mr. Herbie Mann on Atlantic. The Honey Dripper is the name of the tune. You might know his biggest hit. I bought it when it came out back in 1975. I was a junior in high school. The song was called Hijack. You remember that tune? Hijack from 1975. But it was unfortunate, though. We lost a Herbie Mann on July 1st of 2003. He was 73 years old. He passed away from prostate cancer. Of course, we remember him here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Well, enough of my babbling here. Let's start it off with the vocal portion. This singer, originally from Tyler, Texas, had 2 releases on Morris Levy's Roulette record label. Let's give a listen to his first, a tune written by Vernon Harrell and Jimmy Bailey. This one produced by Bob Schwartz and Randy Irvin. This charted number 8, a number 8 record on WINW in Canton, Ohio. We open up the vocal portion from July 1967, Chuck Wood. Chuck Wood on Roulette Records. It's called 7 Days Too Long.
First time I called you, girl, they say you wasn't home. And the second time I tried it, they say you want to be left alone. We had a lover's quarrel, yes we did, like all lovers do. I'm ready to make up. It's all up to you now, 'cause 7 days is too long without you, baby. Come on back to me now.
open up the vocal portion there with Chuck Wood. Chuck Wood, July 1967 on the Roulette record label. 7 Days Too Long is the name of that tune. Johnny G will be back in 7 days as we celebrated 1,000 subscribers. And what John Ferry, what you mentioned there is hopefully there is not... tell me if there are ads that are interrupting the stream. That I would not want. So I was very careful with what I told them to do. They wouldn't let me put them down at the bottom, but I don't want any ads interrupting the broadcast. So if you have any ads there, tell me, because I will turn them off. That is for sure. I will do that because I don't want them interrupting the broadcast. That is one thing. Although if you get ad block, you can talk to Charlene because it really works. That, and they actually mentioned that to me. YouTube mentioned that if you have something called ad block, it will block out the ads that come on the program. So I just don't want any ads, not when the program is live. That is a fact. But email me if you do, or type it into the chat room, please, and let me know. Let's continue here. We just heard from Chuck Wood. This gal up next, first recorded as Little Clyde with her group The Teens for RPM Records back in 1956. Then she went solo in 1957, signing with Art Roop's specialty label. But after 1958, she kind of disappeared from the scene, returning in 1962 with releases on Philips Records and also on Imperial. Now let's give a spin to her third release on the Imperial label, produced by Marshall Lieb, arranged by Gene Page. We go to April 1966 for Miss Clyde King. Clyde King on Imperial. It's called Soft and Gentle Ways. That's the sound of Clyde King here on the All 60s edition April 1966, that's her third release on Imperial Records, Soft and Gentle Ways. Had other releases on the Minute record label, also on Lizard Records. Have those records in Johnny G's collection. We'll save them for future shows. Let's continue here for this next group. They're out of Stamford, Connecticut. In the early 1960s, they recorded songs like Pledge of a Fool and Remember Rita for Epic Records. Then in 1966, they signed with RCA Records for this release with the song produced for Holton Records. Holton Records, I don't know if they're out of Connecticut or not, but the tune produced by Jimmy Inner, who also wrote the tune, and he is also the lead singer of this group. They're called the Barons from December 66, the Barons on RCA. It's called Since You're Gone.
I see your face in my dreams. I wake up and cry till dawn. Since you're gone, I do. Since you're gone, well, listen to me, girl, all at once. You took my world from under me. There's nothing left at all now. Since you're gone, I don't know what went wrong. Since you're gone, I've been alone since that day. Since you're gone, hey, you know that I'll be such a lonely guy. I can't understand this misery 'cause it makes me cry. Why can't I hide from this emptiness inside? And I see now you played me for a fool, but I'll learn to love again somehow. You left me all alone. I'll find someone of my own. Since you're gone, since you're gone, since you're gone, since you're
A group called the Barons. The Barons there from December 66 on the RCA record label. Since You're Gone is the name of the tune. They're out of Stamford, Connecticut. Features the lead singer Jimmy Inner, I-E-N-N-E-R, if I said that right. He's on lead. Johnny G here on a Wednesday evening. If I said Saturday, I need my head examined. I do. But playing all 60s soul 45s. We're here from 9 to midnight right here on Oldies and More Radio. And also live on YouTube. Going to start with the 1 o'clock shows, I think, this coming Monday. And I think I owe those UK listeners, the ones that like those fast Lindy doo-wop songs, to play some tunes for them for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. We'll do that. I have to pull them out probably on Sunday evening, and I know what they're looking for, so we'll try that. But I will be doing different types of music at 1 o'clock on Monday afternoons. So it'll be an afternoon show right at lunchtime or so, maybe a little later than your lunchtime, but probably about 1 to 2:30 or 3 o'clock in that vein. We'll see how it goes, but let's continue here for this next 45 on the G-Note label. This label owned by Mort Garson. He was a born Canadian but relocated to New York City. He had the ability to carry out any and all of the musical chores on any given session. He was both composer, arranger, orchestrator, conductor, and pianist as required by these songs that he would record. Now, he did so with this release on his G-Note label. This is his label, G-Note Records, and it's by this gal. Her name is Jean Brooks, and listen to the whirling keyboard work he does in the beginning of this tune. We go to March of 1963 for Miss Jean Brooks. Jean Brooks on the G-Note label. It's called Tomorrow Never Came. That's a tale of galloping woe there. That's what Dick Heatherton would say when he was on CBS FM in the 1970s. That's Miss Jean Brooks' March 1963 release on the G-Note record label, Tomorrow Never Came. It didn't for Jean Brooks, but it does for you, the Vinyl Treasure Show listeners, as we continue here. And this next group, they were discovered by songwriter-musician Larry Weiss, and he is best known for writing a big hit for Glenn Campbell. You may know the song Rhinestone Cowboy. That was back in 1975. He also wrote other big hits co-wrote the American Breed's 1967 hit Bend Me, Shape Me, so many others, but he also discovered groups in his early career like this group. They were originally known as the Pacemakers, and Larry recorded both sides of this 45 and then sold the masters to OK Records, who decided to change the name of the group. So they changed it from the Pacemakers to the Charades, and this was their debut single, arranged and conducted by Horace Ott. We go to April of 1964. Give a listen to the Charades. The Charades on OK Records. It's called Love of My Life.
I'll be in there. someone new. I kissed her goodnight and felt her embrace, but no, 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 she wasn't you. Oh, the love of my life has gone away, and I'll be crying every day. I'll be in misery till she's back with me. Oh, 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 oh. That girl means so much to me. I carry your love wherever I go, even though we're apart. Wherever you are, I miss you so. You're here, right here in my heart. The love of my life has gone away, and I'll be crying every day. I'll be in misery till she's back with me. Oh, 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 oh. That girl means so much to me. She's gone. She's gone. She's gone, 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 gone.
They're called the Charades. The Charades from April 1964. It's on the OK record banner. Love of My Life is the name of the tune. This group would continue to record for Mercury Records back in 1965. Also two more on MGM in 1966, and one of them goes for a ton of bucks. The Charades. I don't think I have that expensive one, but I do have their other one on the MGM record label. Hope you're digging on the cool tunes here on a Wednesday evening. If you're new to the program, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I think I'm up to 1,012 subscribers already here, so you want to do that so you get notifications in your email when Johnny G is live, especially with me doing the midday shows. So you want to do that as we continue now for this next artist. He's from Layton, Alabama, and he was the cousin to Percy Sledge, first recorded back in 1962 for the Guidon record label out of Philadelphia, but then he signed with Fame Records in 1963. He had 13 releases, on the Fame label. Now, his biggest hit was his second. You may know the song. It was called Steal Away. That came out in 1964. Now, let's give a listen to his sixth release, this tune written by Dan Penn and Spooner Oldham. They wrote a lot of cool tunes during their career, and this charted number 20 on WBOK in New Orleans, Louisiana. We go to June of 1965. Let's give a listen to Jimmy Hughes. Jimmy Hughes on Fame Records. It's called You Really Know How to Hurt a Guy, parentheses, you really know how to make him cry. This is Jimmy Hughes.
You really know how to hurt a guy. You really know how to make him cry. It don't bother you in the least that you're breaking me up piece by piece, by little bitty
as Jimmy Hughes. Jimmy Hughes from June 1965. It's on the Fame record label. You really know how to hurt a guy, parentheses. You really know how to make him cry. Very long title that was difficult for Charlene to fit in the database. I don't know, Charlene, how can we fit that in the database? We can't make it any smaller. I guess we can. But anyway, let's continue here on the All 60s edition for this next singer. Her name is Tracy Robbins. She had two overall releases, one on the Decca label in 65 and a second one that came out on Brunswick in 67. Her real name supposedly is Margaret Zimmerman, but let's give a spin to her first release. This tune written by Douglas Royal, Fred Ballin, and Mike Schwartz. It's arranged by Artie Butler. This is from July of 65. Tracy Robbins. Tracy Robbins, her name, on Decca Records. It's called What Was She Doing?
Now what the heck was she doing, kissing on you? I thought that you were mine, and you were true. My friends all warn me about you. They say that you were untrue. I call them jive, I call them every name that I know. I said they were just so and so. When you came around to me that day, told me that you were gonna stay, I said to you I didn't need you no more. I knew I'd wind up back where I was before. Now what was she doing, kissing on you? I thought that you were mine, and you were true. The girls all warn me about you. They say that you were untrue. I call them jive, I call them every name that I know. I said they were just so and so. Now you want to apologize after you've gone and hurt my pride. Did me wrong in front of all my friends, and got the nerve to say you want me back again. Now what was she doing, kissing on you? Oh, you. I said what was she doing, kissing on you?
July 65 release there for Tracy Robbins. Tracy Robbins on Decca. What was she doing? Kissing on you. I guess they didn't put that in. I added that in on the title. We continue now for this next singer from Houston, Texas. He was the lead singer of a local Houston group called the Pastels, but he went out on his own with this release on Hickory Records out of Nashville, Tennessee. This seems to be his only release. This is the intended B-side of the 45, which I prefer. We go back to February of 67 for Charlie Romans. It sounds like a made-up name, though. Charlie Romans, Romans. It's on the Hickory label. It's called 24-Hour Service.
24-hour service, 24 hours a day, 24 hours to sit and talk, and 24 hours to play. Any which way you want it, any which way you say, call on a you-know-who. 'Cause I have 24 hours service, yeah. 24 hours a day, yeah. 24 hours to sit and talk, and 24 hours to play. Now any which way you want it, baby, any which way you say, yeah. Any which way you like it, baby, 24 hours a day, yeah. 24 hours a day. Anytime life gets boring in the nearest phone, I've got an all-in hotline, baby, for you and you alone. 'Cause I have 24 hours service, yeah. 24 hours a day, yeah. 24 hours to sit and talk, and 24 hours to play. Any which way you want it, baby, any which way you say, any which way you like it, baby, 24 hours a day, 24 hours a day, 24 hours service, baby, 24 hours a day, yeah.
February 1967 release there for Charlie Romans. Charlie Romans on the Hickory record label, 24 hours with 24 hours service. Where can you get 24 hour service nowadays? You can get it right here on Oldies and More Radio. It's our last day of the fundraiser for the radio station here. So we got to do this public announcement every hour here on the Vinyltreasure show. So please support us. Oldies and More Radio brings you the best music from the 1950s, 60s, and early 1970s, 24/7, 365 days a year. Now, Oldies and More Radio is entirely supported by you, our listeners. All the DJs, that's me, and the staff, volunteer their time. Now, our only source of support are donations from our listeners. Donations will pay for the fees for the music we play, along with our website, our chat room, our hosting and rental of our radio server. Now, you can make a donation by using PayPal. Now, the link is on our webpage. You can go to www.oldiesandmoreradio.com and click on the support tab. It's easy to do. Any support is welcome. Now, if you can't send anything, you are 100% welcome to listen and join us here on the station in the chat room. You're in JohnnyG's chat room. Yes, you are. And we thank you and welcome to Oldies and More Radio. There you go. That's our first public announcement for... Now, what did I do? What did I do with my... Oh, here it is. My cheat sheet there. But anyway, there you go. We just heard 24 hours service from February 1967. His name is Charlie Romans on Hickory Records. Somebody mentioned Hickory Records, lots of diverse sounds, lots of genres on Hickory Records. You know, they started back in country. There's even two group harmony records, the Varieteers, I think, in 1954. There's lots of soul on the label. There's garage. There is rock. You got B.J. Thomas, Sue Thompson, somebody mentioned. I like her record Paper Tiger, and the other one I like by her is called Breakout Night. You know that record by her, Breakout Night? She has another one. I think that's almost like a northern tune there by her. Every artist had like a northern tune. If you get John Manship's old book, it'll tell you. It's pretty cool. It's interesting. But anyway, let's move on here. And I don't know much about this next group, though. They're called the Boss Four. I think they're out of New York. This label is a New York City label. It's called Rim Records. The label owned by Bob McGee, and it goes back to the 1950s, late 1950s, this Rim label. And then I think there was 1959 they stopped, and then they put this out in May of 1966. The group is called the Boss Four, May 66 release on Rim Records. It's called Walking By. These are the Boss 4.
Walking by, walking by. You walk by, you don't even see me standing here with my heart in my hand. You go walking by. I want you go. I love you. It seems that it's more than life itself. I want you for my girl and nobody else to stop that. Why don't you stop it? Yeah, because my heart is, yeah, yeah. I love you, but you just keep on, baby. You keep on walking by. You keep on walking, baby. You keep on walking by. And I know that I love you so. And if I had you, I would never let you go. Never let you go. Why don't you try to understand I need you so? Give me just one moment, little girl, and then you would know how I love you. Oh, baby, how I need you. Talk about you, baby. I want you. Oh, baby, how I love you. Oh, yeah. How I love you and need you and want you. Talking about you, baby. Yeah, all right. Every day. You keep on.
May 66 release there for the Boss 4. The Boss 4 on the Rim label. Walking By is the name of the tune. We walk on to the next request here as we head to Detroit, Michigan. This request for Philly listener Paul Greco in our YouTube chat room. This gal's real name is Agatha Weston, but she recorded as Kim Weston. She signed with Berry Gordy Jr.'s Tamla label in 1963. She would have 7 releases for Tamla. 2 of those singles were duets with Marvin Gaye, and her biggest hit was a song with Marvin Gaye, It Takes Two. That was her biggest hit. Now, Paul requested her third of 7, tune written by 2 members of the Miracles. That'd be Smokey Robinson and Ronald White. Now, this charted number 21 on WHK in Cleveland, Ohio. Let's go to April of 1964. This is going out to listener Paul Greco in our YouTube chat room. Miss Kim Weston. Kim Weston on the Tamla label. It's called Looking for the Right Guy.
I'm just a plain old ordinary girl looking for the right guy, and I could spend my whole life long looking for the right guy. Some girls want a guy with money, some
That's by request for listener Paul Greco in our YouTube chat room. April 1964, Miss Kim Weston on the Tamla label, her third of 7 on Tamla. Looking for the Right Guy is the name of the tune. She would move to Gordy Records in 1965, had 3 releases on Gordy. Then she signed with MGM Records in 67, had 6 releases, plus she recorded for other labels. But a great voice there from Miss Kim Weston as we continue here. And up next, the Blue-Eyed Soul Duo. They first recorded as members of the Paramours back in 1962 on, Smash Records, also Moonglow Records, I think. But you know them. They are Bill Medley. He's from Santa Ana, California. And Bobby Hatfield, he's from Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. Recorded so many great tunes during their career on various labels, Moonglow, Phyllis, and Verve, and others. Now, here is one that my Aunt Mary bought back in 1966, written and produced by Bill Medley, arranged by Bill Baker. This was their third release for Verve Records, number 30 on both Billboard and Cashbox. This was a big number 1 record on WING in Dayton, Ohio. We go to July of 1966. Let's give a listen to the Righteous Brothers. The Righteous Brothers on Verve Records, and their tune called Go Ahead and Cry.
Love can change a young boy into a man, but a broken heart can change a man back into a boy again. You're not the first man to cry when things have gone wrong. Still a young man, your heart will love again. It takes one little kiss from her sweet tender. It takes one gentle touch from her soft fingertips. It takes more than one tear to mend the broken heart. Broken heart, so
That's the sound of the Righteous Brothers here on the All 60s edition, July 66. It's on the Verve record label, their third release called Go Ahead and Cry. You can check out on YouTube. They did perform this. They lip-synced the record on Dick Clark's Where the Action Is back in 1966. It is there. I think they did a bunch of their records on that Where the Action Is. It was like a whole show, I think, devoted to the Righteous Brothers, or only a couple artists. But it is on there. You can check it out. Johnny G here on a Wednesday evening. Hope you're digging on the cool tunes here. We head to Chicago, Illinois for this next singer. She was 16 years old and attending DuSable High School in Chicago when she had her first release on the Nation label as Jackie Beavers in 1965, but this is her second release, so not to be confused with the male singer Jackie Beavers. She changed her name to Tammy Lavon, Levon. This was her second release. This charted number 11 on WAWA in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We go to April 1966 for Tammy Lavon, Levon, on Nation Records. It's called A Schoolgirl's Dream. She was 17 with that recording. Tammy Lavon, April 1966, on the Nation label, A Schoolgirl's Dream. I like that record. I do. I don't know. There's something about that record that I like. I really do. And I like this next record. It's actually a request for UK listener Tony Crosby, who is up in the UK watching Johnny G on YouTube. This singer-songwriter out of Nashville, Tennessee. First recording back in 1959 on the Rich label. Other releases followed on Smash, on Boom, and also on the Scepter label, but he signed with Philips in 1966, had 7 releases on Philips Records. His first release would become his biggest hit. I'm sure you know the tune. It was called Sunny. Now, Tony requested the B-side to the follow-up of that, written by Jerry Ross, who also produced it, and Joe Ranzetti, who also arranged it. This charted number 21 on KXLY in Spokane, Washington, Washington. This was a 45 that my aunt had in her collection. She bought it for this side. This is going out to Tony Crosby in our YouTube chat room, September 1966. Mr. Bobby Hebb on Phillips Records. It's called Love, Love, Love.
That makes my day seem brighter. Love is your arms around me, makes my troubles lighter. When I hold your hand so tightly, I feel that I am stronger. I feel so much about you, I just can't wait no longer. For the wonderful touch of your lips, the wonderful warmth of desire, for the sweet tender nights and the kisses, setting my soul on fire. Baby, love is a dream come true. Love is a girl like you. Love knows no limits, baby. It's sweet and yet there's heartache. Love is the sound of laughter a boy and girl make. Sweet love is all around you. Though love itself is pain, in love there's so much pleasure, and yet there's so much pain. For the wonderful touch of your lips, the wonderful warmth of desire, for the sweet tender nights and the kissing, setting my soul on fire. Baby, love is a dream come true. Love is a girl like you. Love is a dream come true. Love is a girl like you. Love is a girl like you, babe, so warm and oh so tender. Love is the power, baby, that's making me surrender. When I look into your soft eyes, I melt like candy jam. I'd do anything to please you, yes, anything I can. For the wonderful touch of your lips, the wonderful warmth of desire, for the sweet tender nights and the kisses, setting my soul on fire. Baby, love is a dream come true. Love is a girl like you. Love is a dream come true. Love is a girl. For the wonderful touch of your lips, the wonderful warmth of desire, for the sweet tender.
That's going out to UK listener Tony Crosby, the sound of Bobby Hebb. Bobby Hebb, September 1966, on the Phillips label, a styrene press that plays pretty decent, I have to say. Love, Love, Love is the name of the tune. And what did I say? I lost my place here. There you go. But he's got some other great tunes on the Phillips label too, by the way, that I have featured here on the All 60s edition. Let's continue now for this next tune. This song was first recorded by the Four Seasons. Didn't come out on a single, though. I think it came out maybe on a Japanese single, but it never came out on a U.S. single. It came out, though, in January of 66, if you have that LP, called Working My Way Back to You. That's the first time you ever heard this song. But the first single that was issued on this tune was in April of 1966, was a B-side to the Toys' their fourth single on Dynavoice. The A-side was called Silver Spoon, and the flip side would be this tune here. But this one that I'm featuring is by this gal from Dayton, Ohio, as we go back to February of 1967. Her name is Sue Darby. Sue Darby, and this is her only solo release, a tune written by Sandy Linzer and Denny Randell. It's arranged by Jimmy the Whiz Wisner. Came out on ABC Records. We go to February 1967. Give a listen to Sue Darby on ABC. It's called Can't Get Enough of You, Baby. February 67 release there for Sue Darby. Sue Darby, her first solo release on the ABC record label, Can't Get Enough of You Baby. Great to find records like that in the wild for 10 cents. I know sometimes they're not in mint condition, but well worth 10 cents, I have to say. Now, in 1970, she would become the lead singer of a group called Green Light, Lyte Sunday. They had one release on the RCA record label, but that one there from 1967, Can't Get Enough of You Baby. I bet you can't get enough of Johnny G on a Wednesday night as we continue here. And speaking of finding records in the wild, I found this 45 in the wild for 10 cents. Of course, it was not mint, but I think this might go for a little bit of bucks. I'm not sure. But we go to Philadelphia. Maybe we're going to have to ask Paul Greco if he knows of this song here. This next group won second place in a talent contest, beating out the Delphonics, who came in third. Now, first place went to a group called the Ambassadors, but they were all attending Temple University, or this group at the time attending Temple University, and they were known as the Temp Tones. Now, Jimmy Bishop, he was the owner of Arctic Records. He heard about them and signed them, or heard about this talent contest. He ended up probably being there, so he signed them, and he's also signed the Ambassadors to his Arctic label. Now, let's give a listen to their first of two on Arctic. It features Daryl, how do you pronounce his name here? H-O-H-L, Daryl Hall, but you know him better as Daryl Hall. He is the lead singer, and yes, the Daryl Hall and John Oates that recorded as Hall and Oates had all those big hits on RCA Records. But this is going back to February of 1967. This was a number 19 record if you were listening to WDAS in Philadelphia. These are the Temp Tones. The Temp Tones from February 67. Their first of two, as I lose my voice for being out in the wild today. Their first of two on Arctic Records. It's called Girl, I Love You.
People always call me a fool because I never treated you cool. I treated you good and you still walked away. But my stubbornness still makes me say, you say, girl, yes, I'm serious, though she might be playing. She'll come back if I just keep on saying, keep on saying. I keep saying, keep on saying. I keep saying, keep on saying. I keep saying, girl, I love you, baby, please. Girl, I need you, ain't you proud to go? Can't you see that I love you? Please,
That's the first of two for the Temp Tones there from February 1967 on Arctic Records. Girl, I Love You is the name of the tune, featuring a young Daryl Hall on lead, way before Hall and Oates with You're a Rich Girl. No, what was their first record? She's Gone? Was that their first big hit, I think? Or am I losing my mind? Johnny G losing his mind here on a Wednesday evening. But let's continue here. Been featuring this gal from Kingstree, South Carolina every week now. She has lots of great 45s. Now, last week, I featured her second of 8 for ABC Paramount Records. It was called After All We've Been Through. Came out in October of 1961. Let's give a listen to her first release on ABC Paramount Records. This tune written by Samuel Willis Taylor Jr., arranged and conducted by Roy Glover. This charted number 44 on WABC here in New York City. We go to June of 1961 for Miss Maxine Brown. Maxine Brown on ABC Paramount, her first. It's called Think of Me.
When she's gone and you're left all alone, wondering why she doesn't even telephone. You find pain in reality, but I'm still here. Think of me. Now she's saying that it slipped her mind, or that she's busy, just can't seem to spare the time. Now your heart's in misery, but I'm still here. Think of me. So long, and you realize you were all so wrong. My love remains oh so strong, and it will last for eternity. But whoa,
June 1961 release from Miss Maxine Brown. That's her first release on ABC Paramount Records. Think of Me is the name of the tune. It was 1963 when she signed with Wand Records. Have a whole ton of great records that she does for Wand Records. Let's continue here, and this next artist has this lone release on a Gordon Keith Steeltown record label, which is out of Gary, Indiana. I remember buying this record from the late Greg Surik. He sold me this 45. Now, this is a tune written by Willie Spencer, produced by Gordon Keith and Ben Brown, arranged by Mo Rogers. Whoever those people are, I have no clue. Mark Speck maybe knows. But this appears to be his only release. This came out in 1967. Let's give a listen to Lou, the letter D, Washington, on Steeltown Records. And it's a one-word title. It's called Smokey.
Hello, Smokey. Hello. What's been happening in the forest today? I know you've been awfully busy, my friend, trying to keep all the forest fires away. I know you can put out a fire before it really starts, but here's a question that I'm asking you concerning my heart, oh Smokey. Oh, Smokey. How do you say a man with a burning heart? A man with a burning heart. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ah, Smokey. You said this question has never been put to you before. Well, I never would have asked you, my friend, if Mr. Harding hadn't knocked at my front door. He brought with him a pain no medicine cannot cure, and it burns eternally in my heart, and that's for sure. Oh, Smokey, how do you say a man with a burning heart? A man with a burning heart. She doesn't love you. Get away. What you say? Get away. What you say? What you say? And it's got to be a girl for me. Ah, thank you, Smokey, for telling me exactly what to do. When you find out that your girl don't really love you, go out and get you somebody new. There's so many fish swimming in the deep blue sea. I know there's got to be one swimming around in there for me, oh Smokey. I'll drown out my old flame and save my burning heart. I'll save my burning heart. I'll save my burning heart. I'll save my burning heart. Don't you know I'll save my burning heart. I'll save my burning heart.
His name is Lou D. Washington. Lou D. Washington on Steeltown Records, 1967. The song is called Smokey. I think he's asking the bear, Smokey the Bear, to help him with his burning heart for his girlfriend. Maybe he was. Maybe he's got to put the fire out. I don't know. Hopefully you're not burning up. Johnny G, not burning up yet. It was actually a really nice day today, and I was walking the streets of Newark. I haven't been to Newark in over a year, but it was sort of deserted, although it was there were graduations, and I never used to go into Newark with graduations with all the Seton Hall and Rutgers. I think the nursing is there, but it was horrible, the parking. They charged me $40 to park. I think it used to be like $8. It would have cost me $8, and I was in there. I was like, and they let me park my car too. Usually they don't, but they fixed it all up. You know, I haven't been there in that parking garage for over 3 years. But anyway, as Johnny G babbles on here. Let's continue here. Now, here's a flip side from the May 10th show, the All 60s show. I featured this group out of Detroit. They were called the Precisions. I played their second release on Mike Hank's D-Town label. It was called Mexican Love Song, and it was a listener, Jimmy Amato, that asked Johnny G to flip the 45 over. I think this was the side that was played up in Detroit, because this was actually charted in Cleveland, Ohio. This was a number 17 record on WABQ in Cleveland, Ohio. We go to August of 1965. This is for listener Jimmy Amato, the Precisions on D-Town. It's called You're Sweet.
You're sweet, so sweet to me.
Oh, yes you are, girl.
You're sweet, so sweet to me.
Yes, you're my heart, girl. You just don't know how it makes me feel.
To know your love is always real. You just don't know how it makes me feel.
Oh,
You're sweet, so sweet to me.
you're my everything.
You're sweet, so sweet to me.
You make me feel like a king.
Girl, you're sweeter than a rose, and the good Lord knows you're sweet. Your love is alright with me.
All right with me.
Your love is alright with me.
All right with me.
Yeah, yeah, baby.
Oh, you're always around,
And it's alright. Yeah, baby. Oh, sugar. Yeah, you are my one desire. Sweet to me, sweet to me. 'Cause girl, you're sweeter than a rose. Sweet to me, sweet to me. And the good Lord knows you're sweet.
That's going out to listener Jimmy Amato, the sound of the Precisions there from August 1965. Mike Hank's D-Town record label, You're Sweet is the name of the tune. That's their second release for the D-Town label. As we continue now, we stay in Detroit, Michigan with this request for Philadelphia listener Paul Greco. He's going to be tuning in to the archive at 6 a.m. tomorrow. That is fine. I don't know if the chat will be up by then. Boy, the Saturday night show took a long time for them to post the chat for some reason. But this singer, mostly known for his writing contributions to Berry Gordy Jr.'s Motown empire. Now, he collaborated with his brother Brian and Lamont Dozier on some of the biggest hits of the 1960s. He was also a producer, and he had a number of singles on his own, first recording for the Mercury label back in 1958, a song you will hear on my Saturday night show. Now, next, he recorded 4 for United Artists Records, and then in 61, he was signed to Motown Records for 10 releases. Now, Paul requested his 8th. This tune, written and produced by Holland Dozier Holland, charted number 76 on Billboard, 71 on Cashbox, 27 on the R&B chart, and a big number 1 record. This was number 1 on WKNR in Detroit, Dearborn, Michigan. So by request for Paul, December 63, Eddie Holland. Eddie Holland on Motown. His tune is called Leaving Here. for Paul. That's by request for Paul Greco there, December 1963. Mr. Eddie Holland. Eddie Holland on Motown Records. Leaving Here is the name of the tune. I have that record, Darlene Jamie, but I got to pull the 45's out. It's not that easy for me to go down in the no humidity basement to get the records. I need the requests in advance. So I've planned on playing a twin spin here, and this is Eddie Holland again. This is the B-side to his 10th release. I may flip it over and play the A-side, but this is his final release for Motown Records. This tune again written by Holland Dozier Holland. This charted number 48 on the WDRC in Hartford, Connecticut, and this was the side that my aunt liked. My Aunt Mary, she turned me on to collecting this music when I was just a little child, she did. This is July 1964. We're going to send this one out to Darlene Goodwin in our YouTube chat room. Mr. Eddie Holland, a twin spin on Motown Records. It's called If You Don't Want My Love. This is for Darlene.
If you don't want my love, darling, please let me know, let me know. If you don't want my kisses, darling, please tell me so, tell me so. Because this uncertainty is causing me misery. Smile no longer show that warm hello, and gone is that look of love
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That's a twin spin there from Mr. Eddie Holland, July 1964 on Motown Records, If You Don't Want My Love. The A-side is a song called Candy to Me. Well, let's flip over. I have Jamie, but down in my file box, but he also sang about Brenda. Let's give a listen to Eddie Holland from July 64, from December 63, I'm sorry. We flip over Leaving Here on Motown Records. The flip side of that is a song entitled Brenda.
Brenda, oh Brenda, is the sweetest name I know. Tender, so tender. Wish I'd never hurt her so. I never missed her till she was gone. Don't know how I'll carry on without Brenda. For granted, taking her for granted, I was a fool to think I could. So confident she'd never leave me. Now it's me who's grieving. A pretty face turned my head. She grew tired of me and fled. Brenda's gone, and I've lost everything I've had. Now a man is very proud. Never likes to admit he's a fool. But when I think about the love I threw away, I close my eyes and to myself I say, Brenda, Brenda is the sweetest name I know. So tender, so very tender. Wish I'd never hurt her so. I never missed her till she was gone. Don't know how I'll carry on without Brenda. Brenda is the sweetest name I know. Brenda, Brenda, you're the sweetest thing I know.
Sound of Motown here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That is the flip side to Leaving Here, The Jump, a song entitled Brenda, Eddie Holland, December 1963 on Motown Records. I have a four-top record coming up. Paul requested a four-top. I think it was Paul. Yeah, it wasn't Tony. I got another record coming up for Tony in very soon, but we continue here on the All 60s edition. This is the very first single released on the Fidan record label. This label owned by Phil Spector and Phil's record promoter, that be Danny Davis. Now this song written by Marty Cooper and Bobby Susser. He also produced some of Paul Simon's early singles as Tico and the Triumphs, plus others. For Robert John and Trini Lopez, but this gal, her name is Florence Devore. Florence Devore. This charted number 32 on WHLO in Opelika, Alabama. We go to February of 1965 and give a listen to Florence Devore on Fidan Records. It's called Kiss Me Now, parentheses, Don't Kiss Me Later.
Later.
February 1965 release there, Florence Devore, Florence Devore, that's on the Fidan record label. Kiss Me Now, parentheses, Don't Kiss Me Later. Lots of kissing going on in Newark today. As I said goodbye to my fellow work peers, and well, they still call me. I told you, got any questions, you can call me. It wasn't my retirement, it was my peer friend there, Denise Crombie. It was nice seeing them again. But Johnny G's here, spinning 1960s soul 45s out of my collection. We're here from 9 to midnight every Wednesday night. You can join me also on Saturday nights at 9 o'clock for Group Harmony 45s. We play the 1950s and early 60s all request show. Tons of requests for those shows, but it's more of an early rhythm and blues sound. So we continue here, and the lead singer of this group and her sister moved to New York from Augusta, Georgia, and with one more gal, they formed a trio in the fall of 1961 to record as Barbara J. and the Silver Slippers, with that release on Les K that I have featured on that Saturday night show. But in 1963, they signed with Brunswick Records, and they changed their name to the Sweethearts, and the group consisted of Barbara Sullivan, her sister Shirley, and Kim Lewis. This was the A-side to their second release on Brunswick, second of four, with Barbara Sullivan. She wrote it with William McCorkle, and this is arranged by Alan Lauber. And this is from March of 1963. Let's give a listen to the Sweethearts. The Sweethearts on Brunswick. It's called What Did I Do, parentheses, What Did I Say?
Make you wanna cry. What did I do? Change your happy mood. What did I do? You just said goodbye. Was I so bad? Did I make you sad? What did I do? Darling, to you, what did I do? What did I say? I thought I'd read it, you right, yeah. I got to loving all day and night. You know I did.
As Barbara Sullivan on lead. She's a lead of Barbara J and the Silver Slippers. Love is the Thing is the record she did in 1962. This is March 63, The Sweethearts. Second of 4 on the Brunswick label, What Did I Do, parentheses, What Did I Say. They would have one more name change back in 1967, record as the Lovables on the Toot label. There's some good records by them on Toot Records. Johnny G here on a Wednesday. Hope you're digging on the tune. If you're new to the program, please subscribe to my YouTube channel to get email notifications when I'm on live as we continue here. Now, here's a request for UK listener Tony Crosby. Tony Crosby, who was up in the UK at this early morning hour. Really diehard fans of the Vinyltreasure show. Now, this singer was half of a duo, Bob and Earl. Some of you may be familiar with their 1963 song called Harlem Shuffle. Came out on the Mark record label. They were Bobby Bird and Earl Nelson. Then in 1966, Earl decided to go solo, and he changed his name. He used his wife's first name. Her name was Jackie, and his middle name, which was Lee, to record as Jackie Lee. You may know his biggest hit. It was called The Duck. It came out on the Mirwood record label, but Tony requested his third release. This is a song he co-wrote, produced by Fred Smith and James Carmichael. We go to March of 1966. This is going out to Tony Crosby in our YouTube chat room. This is Jackie Lee on Mirwood Records. It's called The Shotgun and the Duck.
They shot him in the tail, but Lord, that did not do. All the little duck lost baby was a fella or two. They say they're gonna shoot my duck, but Lord, they're running out of luck, yeah, 'cause ain't no shotgun there, no. Ain't no shotgun. Ain't no shotgun. Ain't no shotgun. The way he moved around. They say they're gonna shoot my duck, but Lord, they're running out of luck. 'Cause ain't no shotgun, oh no. Ain't no shotgun. Ain't no shotgun. Ain't no shotgun. Hey, I know you're gonna shoot my duck. I run too fast. Ain't no shotgun gonna shoot my duck. Now watch me go. All over this town.
That is a fast mover there. You got to really move your hips on that one. That's going out. That's going out to Tony Crosby in our YouTube chat room. He's tuned in over in the UK. The sound of Jackie Lee, March 1966 on the Mirwood record label, The Shotgun and the Duck is the name of the tune as we continue here on Vinyl Treasures. And next up, this girl group. They're from Jamaica, New York, first recording as a quartet on the Angie label back in 1963 as the Charades, but then they became a trio consisting of June Monteiro, Barbara Parrott, and lead singer Barbara Harris. Collectively, they were known as the Toys. They signed with Dynavoice Records back in 1965. Their biggest hit would be their debut single, came out in August of 65. If you know the tune A Lover's Concerto, that was their big hit for them. They had 5 releases on Dynavoice. This is their fifth release, written by Sandy Linzer and Denny Randell, Tom DeSillis, and Richard Layton. This is arranged by Jimmy the Whiz Wisner. Barbara Harris, she's on lead. This charted number 92 on Cashbox, number 76 on Billboard, a big number 8 record on KEWI. In Topeka, Kansas, we go to July 1966. Let's give a listen to the Toys. The Toys on Dynavoice, and their tune is called Baby Toys. As Barbara Harris and the Toys, she's still performing today, by the way. Those are the Toys, July 1966 on the Dynavoice record label. Their final single for Dinah Voice. Baby Toys is the name of the tune. Johnny G is your toy on a Wednesday evening. Hope you're digging on the tunes. If you do, please give me a thumbs up. Tell your friends about the program. We're here every Wednesday night spinning soul 45s out of my collection. 190,000 for, well, 175,000. No, somewhere between 175 and 190, somewhere around there. I have records all over the place, I do, but we continue here for this next singer. He's from Houston, Texas, began recording back in 1958 with a vocal group called the Four Dots on the Freedom label. I just featured that song for Adrian. I think you requested the Four Dots last Saturday night. A great tune that they do from 1958. In 1960, he recorded on the Silver label as part of a duo, Jewel and Eddie. Then in 1964, he would sign with Lou Bedell's Era record label. He had 9 releases on the label. You may know his first release became his biggest hit. It was a song called The Birds and the Bees. But let's give a listen to his 5th release. This one written by Barry Stewart, arranged by James Carmichael, from December of 1965. Let's give a listen to Jewel Aikens. Jewel Aikens on the Era label. The tune is called A Slice of the Pie.
There should be enough honey for every bee. No bird should be without a nest in a tree. Love should be divided equally. And I want a slice of the pie, yeah. I've been searching for love and it just ain't fair. I can't seem to find it anywhere. Everyone's entitled to their share. And I want a slice of the pie, yeah. I want some hugging and some kissing. I want the things that I've been missing. And whoever started passing love around sure forgot to put my name down. I've been waiting and waiting patiently. Love's been playing hide and seek with me. Love should be divided equally. And I want a slice of the pie, yeah. Hey! I want some hugging and some kissing. I want the things that I've been missing. And whoever started passing love around sure forgot to put my name down. There should be enough honey for every bee. No bird should be without a nest in a tree. Love should be divided equally. And I want a slice of the pie, yeah. And I want a slice of the pie, yeah. And I want a slice of the pie, yeah. And I want a slice of the pie.
As Mr. Jewel Aikens. Jewel Aikens, their December 1965 release on Era Records out of California, a song entitled A Slice of the Pie. That was on a Dick Clark Raider record. I think that song won out on the other song that was played that day. I think it might be on YouTube. It might, or I might have a private copy of that. I used to collect those videos. I like to see. It was always fun seeing people dance to the songs. It was, but and plus to see the singers, it's historic. Even if they're singing to their records, I don't care. You get to see the original group. I mean, especially I played. Was it last week? I played A Baby Baby All the Time by the Superbs. They had those leather outfits on. Were singing to the record. It was pretty cool. Johnny G needs his head examined. I do. I am passionate about the music. Let's continue here. And it's unfortunate that this Detroit artist never had the chance whatsoever of having a hit record with this song. And it's because Capitol Records was focusing efforts on promoting the Beatles. Everybody was promoting the Beatles at the time. So many artists never got their records played. And at the time, Capitol 5222 was a Hard Day's Night by the Beatles. That was sent out. So what happens is the radio station mails out, especially Capitol Records, they'll mail out about 10 records or 12 records for the week. It might even be more for a company like Capitol, because they mail out different genres. So they'll send it out to all the stations, country stations, rock stations, rhythm and blues stations. They'll send out all these records, and then they decide if they're going to play them or not. But this record came out the same week as the Beatles record, A Hard Day's Night, so it really had no chance, but it's such a great record. I like this tune. His name is Teddy Green, and I think he wrote this tune. It's produced by Robert Bateman, July 1964. Give a listen to Teddy Green on Capitol. The song is called, one word, it's called Cry.
Cry when your heart is broken in two.
His name is Teddy Green with an E at the end, Greene. Teddy Green, July 1964 on Capitol Records, song entitled Cry. Unfortunately, he was crying because that record really never got promoted, unfortunately. Everybody focusing on the Beatles. Unfair. We continue here. Now, a few weeks ago, I featured one side of this gal's second release on the Volt label. She was from Gainesville, Florida. Her real name is Linda Rowland, but she recorded as Linda Lindell. And I played her second release on the Volt label. It was called I Don't Know. And I think it was Mark Speck that asked if I could play the flip side, but when I played the record, I couldn't flip it over because it didn't have a flip side. It had the same song on both sides, and that's what some of the record companies would do. They would say, "We don't want you to play the flip side. We just want you to play one side of the record. This is what we're pushing." But some companies, what they did, because I have a few examples. This is one of them. Another one was on Columbia, I think I have. They would issue the flip side as a promo and put both sides on that record too. So don't ask me why Volt did this. But this gal was discovered by Otis Redding, and Otis Redding was instrumental with her getting this contract with Volt Records. So I think Mark requested the flip side, and I found it. I found the other promo, so we're gonna send it out to Mark's spec. And the interesting thing is that this side charted. This side charted, which was the intended B-side on WIGO in Atlanta, Georgia. It's produced by Dave Crawford, and it's from June of 1968. Let's give a listen to Lindell, Lyndell, on Volt Records. The song is called What a Man. We'll send that one out to Darlene Goodwin in our YouTube chat room there. That's the original there for Lindell, June 1968 on the Volt record label. What a Man is the name of the tune. Johnny G here on a Wednesday evening. If I said Saturday, I need my head examined. Too much wine tonight would be the reason. But we go back to Detroit, this time with a request for Philly listener Paul Greco. This group first began recording, believe it or not, back in 1955. They did, but it wasn't until 1964 that they started to experience the hits. And they would have about 33 releases on Berry Gordy Jr.'s Motown record label between July of 64 and July of 1985. Now, Paul requested a B-side to their 11th release. The A-side was a hit for them, a song called Bernadette, but we're going to flip it over, give a listen to the B-side here, written and produced by Holland Dozier Holland. There they are again. It features Levi Stubbs on lead, and this did chart. And this might be a reason why that Phil requested this, because it charted number 4 on WFIL in Philadelphia, PA. So they were playing this side in Philadelphia. We go to February 1967 for Levi Stubbs and the Four Tops on the Motown record label. The song is called I Got a Feeling. This is for Paul Greco in Philadelphia.
When you're in my arms, darling, when you're in my arms, ooh, I got a feeling, got me rocking and reeling. Ooh, I'm crazy about your love, buttercup, your kind of love, can't get enough. Ooh, you shake me up, break me up, every time your lips meet mine. I feel a pounding, ooh, and I can't stand it. And you lock me in your embrace, and breathlessly you kiss my face. I get a strange sensation, ooh, and I can't stand it. Ooh, I can feel it, got me rocking and reeling. Oh, I'm crazy about your love, buttercup, your kind of love, can't get enough. You take control of my very soul. Every time you're close to me, you make me quiver and shake. Ooh, and I can't stand it. I touch your lips, your fingertips, I get a loving reaction, soul satisfaction, darling. You know that I can't stand it. Feel it, and it's got me rocking and reeling. Oh, I'm crazy about your love, buttercup, your kind of love, I can't get enough. Your heart's quaking, soul shaking, ever-loving, breathtaking. You're electrifying, ooh, so satisfying. When you walk in a room, right away I start to swoon. I'm not sure of what you got, ooh, but what it is I'd like to lie. Ooh, I get a feeling, and it's got me rocking and reeling. Ooh, I'm crazy about your love, buttercup, your kind of love, I can't get enough. Ooh, shake me up, break me up, every time your lips meet mine. I feel a pounding, ooh, and I can't stand it. Ooh, I get a feeling, got me rocking and reeling. Ooh, I'm crazy about your love, buttercup, your kind of love, can't get enough. Ooh, feel it, got me rocking and reeling.
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That's going out to Philadelphia listener Paul Greco. The Four Tops there, Levi Stubbs and the Four Tops, February 67 release on Motown Records. I Got a Feeling is the name of the tune. Here we go with the copyright stuff again. Heads up, we've detected copyright audio in your stream. May be interrupted. Please do not interrupt the live stream. And it was funny because last week it was unnecessary. When I played that Marvelettes record, they just cut it out. And then when you go back to look at it on the replay, because I have all the archives, there's 520 videos on the website there, it plays through. So why they do it, I have no clue. But anyway, we continue here. For this next group out of central Pennsylvania, it appears to be their only release came out on the on, I don't even, the Steal, S-T-E-A-L, Stay Al record label, I guess. Tune co-written by the lead singer of the group. Her name is Twyla Howard. And this one produced by John Ulrich and Bob Hubbard. This charted on WHYL in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, number 48 tune on that survey. We go to May of 1967. They're called the Soul-sations. The Soul-sations, a cool name on the Stay Al label. It's called Here Comes the Pain.
I've tried so hard to make you love me, and it's tearing me apart, knowing that you can see all the pain that I have in my heart, and the sorrow that's been tearing me apart. Don't you know that you hurt me? Here comes the pain, hurting me again. I realize just what she's done to you, mistreated, abused, and she used you. All your friends try to say I'm no good, but I'm truly being misunderstood. Don't you know that they hurt me? Here comes the pain, hurting me again. Don't you know that I love you so much, that I long for your tender touch? Don't you know that you hurt me? Here comes the pain, hurting me again.
There you go. Those are the Soul Sensations. As I lose my place there, May 1967, the Soul Sensations on the Stay Al record label. Here Comes the Pain is the name of the tune. But the copyright issues, it is a pain. I'm telling you, they shouldn't really block out the video. I never do. It's not like, I have originals here. It's not like I'm, and it's not like I'm making money on the records either. You don't want me to make money on the records? Then you know what? You make the money on the advertising. I don't care. I just want to play them, and I'm really, constricted with some of the songs that I can play. But anyway, I rarely have it with the 50s stuff because a lot of those people are no longer around. But with the 60s, that music is, there's people still around that want to own these tracks. And unfortunately, I have to come under the YouTube rules. That's the issue. Let's continue here. This trio is out of Los Angeles, California. They consisted of Clifton Knight, Dave Richardson, and Lester Johnson. Collectively, they were known as the Invincibles. They would have 4 releases on Warner Brothers Records. Let's give a listen to their fourth. This one's from July of 1967. They're called the Invincibles on Warner Brothers. The song is called Woman is the Soul of Man.
You know she feeds him beans and cornbread on a Sunday morning. And then she makes him do his own washing and ironing. And then she makes him a babysitter for the children. And treats him like a convict in the prison. Well, people fight. Y'all ain't telling no lie. That's the way a woman do a man when she got him in love. Yeah. She sends him out to work very hard. And then she make him bring the check from the job. When she goes downtown and spends all his money, and then she gives to the other fellas all the honey. Well, people, I ain't telling no lie, 'cause that's the way a woman do a man when she got him in love, love, love. A woman is the soul of a man. 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 Well, if he stays out late at night now until the morning, she throws his clothes outdoors now without a warning. And then she goes downtown to the judge and just a crying. And then the judge, he tells the policeman to go and find him. Will the police bring him to the judge for the final say? And then the judge said, lock him up and throw that key away now. Well, people fight. Y'all ain't telling no lie. That's the way a woman do a man when she got him in love, love, love. Here we go now. A woman is the soul of a man. 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 One more time now. Yeah, a woman is the soul of a man. A woman is the soul of a man. A woman is the soul of a man.
They're called the Invincibles. The Invincibles from July 1967, Warner Brothers Records, their fourth release for the label. Siding with Women's Lib there. Yes, Woman is Soul of a Man is the name of the tune. And then I guess they have other releases on the Loma record label. Then in 1968, they recorded as the Soul Gents. The Soul Gents in 1968. Let's continue here. Let's go to Washington, D.C. now for this next group. They had two releases on the Captown label. Their first is actually a cool Christmas record released in November of 1965. It was called All I Want for Christmas Is You. It's a cool dance record at Christmas time. We'll hear that around the holidays. But this was their second release. Came out in early 1966. Let's give a listen to the Sequence. The Sequence, C-Quents, 1966 on Captown Records. The song is called Dearest One. That's the sound of the sequence there. 1966, early 66 release on the Captown record label. Dearest One is the name of the tune. We'll send it out to Adrian in our YouTube chat room listening in Mexico. He likes that tune. A very cool tune. There it is as we continue here on the All 60s edition. If you have any requests, you can send them to me at vinyltreasures at AOL.com. It's harder for me to find my 60s records because they're out of control. I had them all by label, then I mixed them all up and I have them in boxes by the alphabet. But then the ones that I've been finding and featuring on the program here, I shuffle them in and try to file them by artist. So that's what I've been doing, and I do the same thing for the 50s show. So I need more than 24 hours a day is what I do need, but at least you're here and hopefully digging on the cool tunes here as we continue here with this next singer. He's originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, first recording for the Blue Star record label, then he had two on Johnny Nash's a New York City-based Jomada label, which stands for Johnny Margaret Danny Sims. Danny Sims. I don't know. What is that, Charlene? Johnny Margaret, Joma, and Danny. Okay, I got it. This tune produced by Johnny Nash. This is his second. This charted regionally. This was a number 20 tune on WABQ in Cleveland, Ohio. We go to February of 1966 and give a listen to Johnny Day, Daye, Johnny Day on Jomada. It's called Good Time.
You're not the girl for me.
Yeah, we always have a good time here on the Wednesday night Vinyl Treasure Show with Johnny G. That's Johnny Day. Johnny Day, February 66 release on the Jomada record label. Good Time is the name of the tune. Now, it was Otis Redding that saw him perform and brought him over to Stax Records in 1967. So he ended up on Stax Records as a result of Otis Redding. We continue here. We go out to Los Angeles, California for this girl group. This is on Bill Silva and Al Vivissimo's Diplomacy label, and I'm featuring the intended A-side of this 45, a tune written and produced by Bob Roberts and Ralph Freed. Don't know anything about this group. They're called the Diplomats. The Diplomats on the Diplomacy label from November 65. It's called Sit Yourself Down. They're called the Diplomats. The Diplomats there from November of 1965. That's on Diplomacy Records out of Los Angeles, California. A song entitled Sit Yourself Down. We're going to sit myself down for the last public announcement for the night here, as we have to do this for Oldies and More Radio. It's part of our fundraiser. It closes out our fundraiser tonight for the month of May. And please support us. Oldies and More Radio brings you the best music from the 50s, 60s, and early 1970s, 24/7, 365 days a year. Now, Oldies and More Radio is entirely supported by you, our listeners. Now, all the DJs, that's me, Johnny G, and the staff volunteer their time, and our only source of support are donations from our listeners. And donations will pay for the fees for the music we play, along with our website, chat room, hosting, and rental of our radio server. So you can make a donation by using PayPal. The link is on our webpage at www.oldiesandmoreradio.com. Just click on the support tab and you can donate anything that you can. Be sure to say, on behalf of Johnny G's Vinyl Treasure, I want to thank those that have done that, as Joey T has emailed me, and I appreciate that, I do. But this is the only time, because usually the station's pretty good with as far as the copyright fees and whatnot. They don't charge us DJs to do it. So not like that other station I was on that ripped me off asking for money. Dave, you know who that is. But you can do this donation on your, if you can. You don't have to, but if you'd like to, it's a good thing. But any support is welcome. And if you can't send anything, you're 100% welcome to just tune in and join us right here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. So thank you for that, folks. Of course, Johnny G broadcasts also on YouTube. So that is for the visual. But of course, for those of you that sometimes people don't have the time to look at, or they're busy doing stuff, and you can listen to either one. Of course, there is an archive. My show gets archived, and I have a website, vinyltreasures.net. So if you'd like to download the show, lots of people download it. They don't have a computer. They have somebody else download it, and they put it on a CD and play it in their car. That's what they do. That's what they tell me. But anyway, let's continue here. And we just heard from the, what are they called? The Diplomats. Yeah, the Diplomats from November 65 on Diplomacy, Sit Yourself Down. Now, here is a touch of the 70s. I think, Tony, you asked me. I think I have gone into 73, but I don't play many of the 70s. Like 1970, though, I mean, that's like 69 anyway. So if you have an end point, this record came out in May of 1971, although this artist first recorded for Vando Records back in 1967. Now, he would have a national hit with his first release on Vando. I'm sure many of you know the tune. It's called The Sweetest Thing This Side of Heaven on Vando, Van McCoy's label. I think he wrote that tune and produced it also. That is Van McCoy. But he also had, I think, releases after that on Buddha Records. And then this release, which was his very last single, which came out on the Music Core label, and a tune written by Richard Snyder, produced by Ralph Murphy. Let's go to May of 1971 for Chris Bartley on Music Core Records. It's called Tomorrow Keeps Shining on Me. This is Chris Bartley.
Never stop building up speed ever since the top. Bumps are getting harder, more I roll, but I don't care. Don't feel it at all. Working up a sweat, trying to row up a stream. It can be as hard as building a dream, but I keep moving on, laughing at heartaches till they're gone. And tomorrow keeps shining on me.
Touch of the 70s here on the All 60s edition. Chris Bartley there. Can't believe they're giving me a copyright heads up on that song. It's amazing. Chris Bartley's May 1971 on Music Core Records. Tomorrow Keeps Shining on Me is the name of the tune. And that's not even the A side of the record. It's like, this is so weird. Anyway, we continue here. Up next, we have the Hollywood Flames. And yes, technically the same group that recorded in the 1950s that you hear on my Saturday night show. There is one original member of this group, that be David Ford. He was still in the group. They had two releases on Juggy Murray's Symbol label, which was a subsidiary of Sue Records, and they would be the very last two singles for the group. Let's give a listen to their first of the two, written by group member John Berry, now produced by Juggy Murray and J.J. Jackson and Sidney Barnes. It features the lead of George Watson. He's on lead. Let's go to September of 1965. I paid $1 for this 45. I remember getting it. The Hollywood Flames on Symbol. It's called Dance Senorita.
Dancing with the love emotion around the floor, moving like the waves on an ocean. Yeah. Look at her go. Dance, dance, come on and dance, oh dance. She's making like a loop. Shaking like some healthy soup, the way she should. Dance, dance, I want you all now. Oh yeah. Hey now, look at that. She's really feeling the beat. Hey now, little girl, go home and shake your sweet, yeah. Cause you get the party alive.
They're called the Hollywood Flames. Hollywood Flames, September 65 release on the Symbol label. Their first of two, George Watson on lead. Dance Senorita is the name of that tune. Let's continue here. And I love this next tune. Actually, a lot of her records that she does. So did my Aunt Mary, and I think my mother too. I'm going to send this one out to my mother. I know she'll like this tune. This gal, originally from Beaumont, Texas, she also writes and plays a mean guitar left-handed. She is a female left-handed guitarist. You tell me how many you know of them. But this her debut single came out in 1962, early 62, on the Eric label. It was called Give Me a Break, and she did get that break when she signed with Philadelphia-based Jamie Records, and her first release for Jamie became her biggest hit. And I guess we can call it her signature song, a song called You'll Lose a Good Thing. That was her first release. Let's give a listen to her third release. This tune produced by Huey Moe. Her real name is Barbara Ozen. Barbara Ozen, but you know her as Barbara Lynn. This charted number 65 on Billboard, number 14 on Cashbox, number 13 on the R&B chart, number 8 on WAMS out of Wilmington, Delaware. And this is from November of 1962. I'm going to send this one out to Mrs. Galindo, who's tuned in to the Vinyltreasure program. This is Barbara Lynn on Jamie Records. It's called You're Gonna Need Me. Barbara Lynn.
The whole town's talking about you and your new girl. You're flying high now, Jack, and you're seeing the world. But you're gonna need me. You're gonna need me, Daddy, and it won't be long. No, 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 no. No, it won't be long. You're telling everybody, walking papers coming through, but I don't know anything about that. Seems like only you, but you're gonna need me. You're gonna need me, Daddy, and it won't be long. When she leaves you and says goodbye, don't come back to me tears in your eyes. You had a good thing once, and you done me wrong, but I warned you, yes I did, that it won't be long, no, no. So you got your girl, walking papers too. It's all cleared up. Our marriage is through, but you're gonna need me. You're gonna need me, Daddy, and it won't be long. Yeah, 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 yeah. You're gonna need me, Daddy, and it won't be long. I knew you'd be right on back. You're gonna need me, Daddy, and it won't be long. Yeah, 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 yeah. You're gonna need me, Daddy, and it won't be long.
That's the great sound of Barbara Lynn there. That's her third release on Jamie Records, November 62. You're Gonna Need Me is the name of the tune. All her records are great. Even when she went on Atlantic Records, she did too. Anyway, I like Barbara Lynn. We continue. Here we go to Los Angeles, California with this group. They're called The Incredibles. They had 11 releases that came out on Audio Arts Records. Their biggest hit was a song called I'll Make It Easy. That's a great tune that they do. That was their first release on the Audio Arts label. It featured this tune, though, and I think that tune also arranged by the lead singer of the group. His name is Cal Wayman, and Cal Wayman previously was the lead singer of the Shamans. The Shamans recorded on K-Ham Records, I think in 1960 or 61. But this charted number 27 on KDAY out in Los Angeles, California. Let's give a listen to The Incredibles. It's from February 66. It's on Audio Arts Records. It's called Make It Easy. Actually, I'll Make It Easy was not their first, or was it? No, it wasn't. This is their first. It's called, is it their first? Charlene, as I'm going crazy? No. 60010, that is not correct. The Incredibles with I Can't Get Over Losing Your Love. That's a cool dancer there by the Incredibles, Cal Wayman on lead. That's their first release. Their first release from February 66 on the Audio Arts label. I Can't Get Over Losing Your Love is the name of that tune. That's what it is. So anyway, I'll Make It Easy was their second release. Up next, this gal born in Anguilla, Anguilla, Mississippi. I'd never heard of Anguilla, Mississippi, but there must be. But she moved to Chicago as a child. She cut her first record under the supervision of Andre Williams for the Randy record label. She has two on the Randy label. I think I have one of them, maybe both of them, I think. But then she, in 1964, she had a release on Fontana. Then in 65, two on this label, Blue Rock Records. And we're going to give a listen to her first, a song that she co-wrote together with Andre Williams. Let's go to March of 1965. Her name is Joyce Kennedy. Joyce Kennedy on Blue Rock Records. It's called Does Anybody Love Me? Joyce Kennedy.
Does anybody love me? Does anybody care? Is anyone thinking of me? Do I have a love somewhere? I've been searching for such a long time for that long lost love of mine. Does anybody love me? Does anybody care? I wonder, could it be that love wasn't meant for me? Should I go on living alone without someone to call my own? I just can't stand the pain that being alone can bring. Does anybody love me? Does anybody care? Have you ever felt the way I feel right now? Feel like I wanna cry, but I just can't somehow. I stand in a crowd, I feel all alone, 'cause I haven't anyone to call my own. Does anybody love me? Does anybody care? Does anybody love me? Does anybody care? Is anyone thinking of me? Do I have a love somewhere? I've been searching for such a long time for that long lost love of mine. Does anybody love me? Does anybody love me? Does anybody love me? Yeah, does anybody care? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anybody love me? Anybody love me? Does anybody love me?
Her name is Joyce Kennedy there. Joyce Kennedy from March 1965. It's on Blue Rock record label. That is her first of two on Blue Rock. Does Anybody Love Me is the name of the tune. Hopefully you love the Vinyltreasure show with Johnny G. If you do, please give me a thumbs up. Tell your friends about it. We are over 1,000 subscribers now, about 1,010 subscribers as we keep climbing here. And we continue here. This next singer, born Richard A. Allen in Nashville, Tennessee, back January 6, 1935. He moved to Chicago, Then he signed with Ace Records down in Mississippi, but signed with Ace Records in 1961. He had a local hit with a song called You'd Better Be Sure, and in 1963 had another R&B hit called Cut You Loose, reached number 20 on the R&B chart. But this is his second of three on Willie Barney and Granville White's Bright Star label, which is out of Chicago, so probably didn't go up to Chicago until later on. So that's probably what happened. But this tune, written by Jack Daniel and Johnny Moore, produced by Jack Daniel and arranged by Monk Higgins. This charted number 13 on KATZ in St. Louis, Missouri. Let's go to January 1967 for Mr. Ricky Allen. Ricky Allen on Bright Star Records. It's called It's a Mess, I Tell You.
It's a mess, I tell you. You think your baby's loving someone else. It's a mess, I tell you. Trying to make it home by yourself. You can't eat, can't sleep, have to walk and want to talk. A mess, I tell you. Oh yeah, a mess, I tell you. It's a mess, I tell you. You have to wait for her to come home. It's a mess, I tell you. Just wondering if she's doing you wrong. Want to drink, can't think. Walk the floor and drink some more. Mess, I tell you. Alright, a mess, I tell you. You know it's hard to try and live by yourself. And you know, babe, you don't want nobody else but the woman you love. Oh, keep on doing you wrong. But just like time, you must move on. I mess up in me. Oh, I love my baby. I know she knows. But oh, I can't stand too much more of it. It's a mess, I tell you. A mess, I tell you. A mess I'm gonna tell you.
That's Jimmy Allen. Jimmy Allen from January 67. It's on Bright Star Records. It's a mess, I tell you. That's what my record room is, a mess, I tell you. You got to believe me. You do. Someone was asking me, they sent me a 78 list. I haven't had a chance to look at the 78s, let alone he's got to email him and tell him I haven't had a chance to. You're going to just have to wait. If it's a 45 list, I can make some time because it's easy for me to compare, but 78s, I don't have them documented anywhere. Have a lot of 78s. I got that email today, and I have to say anyway. But anyway, we are almost in Vinyl Treasure overtime. We'll go a little bit. Johnny G losing his voice today. Had to be the allergies today. It was a little windy in Newark walking around those buildings. But anyway, here's a request for listener Jimmy Amato. I feature this group normally on my Saturday night show, and I'm talking about the Flamingos. They have so many great records out of the 1950s and early 1960s, but beginning back in 1953 for Chance Records. But this is a late one. This is their first of three. On the Ron's record label. And this lineup was Jacob and Ezekiel Carey, that is Zeke Carey, Alan Fontaine, Sidney Hall, Keith Williams. This was the lineup. This is on the Ron's record label out of Regal Park, New York. This tune written and arranged by Alan Fontaine, produced by Zeke Carey. And this is from an LP called Color Them Beautiful. So this is for Jimmy Amato. Again, a touch of the 70s. This doesn't sound like 71, but it was. It was issued in 1971. These are the Flamingos on Ron's. It's called Welcome Home.
Welcome home, my love. You've been gone too long from a heart head. Oh, so very long, Rolling Stone. I cried from dawn to dawn, welcome home. We were two lovers, wishing on a star, and wishing that we could be somewhere out afar. But nothing seemed to matter, just because we were two lovers. We used to laugh, dance, and sing. Then one day in spring we parted. Oh, since then time has passed. You're home with me at last. We've started. Something new, something grand. The world is ours to command. So welcome home, my love. Welcome
As by request for listener Jimmy Amato, I was looking for that record for a while. I knew I had it in the box there. Those are the Flamingos. The Flamingos there from 1971. That's on the Ron's record label. Welcome Home is the name of that tune. Let's continue here. So one day, this record, here we go, this record is another 1970 release. I'm walking home from my, wasn't in high school, it was junior high school, and we had a Woolworth's here on Broadway, and I would go into Woolworth's occasionally, and they would have four records for $1, and I later on found out that what they would do is Woolworths would go to a one-stop where you can pick up a whole bunch of different things to sell in your store. So they'd pay like a penny a piece for, a returned 45's. And what the record companies would do, they would either mark it NR, which means no return. Motown would write DR on theirs. I forget what that meant. But do not return, I don't know. And then other people would put BB holes through them, just like they would call them cutout bins. So I would walk by this Woolworths, and I think I was buying every record not every record that they put there, because there were thousands of copies of the same thing. So when they went there to pick the records up, they'd be like 70 copies of a Supremes record or something with a BB hole in it, and they would pick it up. I think you saw a couple records tonight with BB holes in them. Those were returned to the record companies. They had to be marked that way, so they couldn't send them back for credit to the companies. So they would end up in these bins for $4 for $1 or $10 for $1, whatever it is. So this record ends up in there, and I knew the song because the song was called Patches. And it was a big hit in 1970 for Clarence Carter. But my aunt taught me one good thing: to flip over your 45's. So you got to flip your 45's over. So this is the B-side of that record, Patches. And I bought this at my local Woolworths. It was $4 for $1. And, of course, the A-side was his biggest hit, a song called Patches. This artist from Montgomery, Alabama. And so I bring the record home, and my father had a 1968. We bought it at Sears, Sears stereo console. You know, the one that had a tape, it had a cassette tape deck, and you could play. It was 3-speed. You can stack the records down. So I brought it in, and I used to play them one at a time. You know, I had to like bend into the thing to put the needle on it. So I played it, and I'm like, this is a great record. So my aunt was in the house at the time, and she just loved the song. So I eventually found another copy, and I did give it to her. She was buying records well into her late 30s, early 40s. She was still buying 45's. I mean, stuff that was out on the charts and like disco stuff. But anyway, this is a B-side. This is the B-side to Patches, and it's a song he wrote. His name is Clarence Carter, July 1970 on Atlantic Records. It's called Say It One More Time. This is a B-side. B-sides here on the Vinyltreasure Show. That is Clarence Carter. That is the B-side to his big hit Patches, song entitled Say It One More Time, released in July of 1970 on the Atlantic record label, a discovery Johnny G discovered back in 1970. We continue here. We are on Vinyltreasure Overtime. We'll go for a little bit, close out just before 12:30 tonight, but we go back to Detroit, this time to Ed Wingate's Golden World record label for this girl group consisting of Joyce Vincent, Dorothy Garland, Elsie Baker, and 15-year-old lead singer. Her name is Diane Hogan. Collectively, they were known as the Debonairs. This is their second of 4 on the Golden World record label from October 1966. Let's give a listen to the Debonairs. It's called COD. You know what that stands for? Collect on Delivery. The Debonairs.
to bring your love to me. I pay with kisses, COD. Collect on delivery, loads of charms. Here's my love and my tender arms. Bring me your love, baby. Send it COD. COD. Collect on delivery. COD. Collect on delivery. Telephone calls will mean a thing to me, and there's not enough words in a special delivery. It's got to be flesh and bones I can see. I need your love and I'll pay anything. Bring me your love, baby. Send it COD. 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 Collect on delivery. COD. Collect on delivery. Here's a true love, give and receive. Take this heart, only you can relieve. Bring me your love, baby. Stamp it COD. COD. Collect on delivery. COD. Collect on delivery. COD. Collect on delivery.
They're called the Debonairs. That's their second of 4 on Golden World Records, October 1966. Diane Hogan on lead. COPD. No, COD. Collect on Delivery is the name of the tune. They had other releases. They had on Revelot, and they had 2 on the Solid Hit label. I don't think I have all their records. Some of them, I'm sure, are a little bit expensive, possibly. It is. We are in Vinyltreasure Overtime here for a Wednesday evening. All 60s Soul 45s out of my collection. And we continue here. This next singer is out of Chicago, born Ronald Edward Lewis, but he recorded as Lou Bon. He has had one single in 1967 on Brainstorm Records, but this is an earlier release from December of 1966. This is a record I found in the wild for 10 cents. I thought it was worth 10 cents. Lou Bon's his name, arranged by Phil Wright. This is produced by Bobby Miller, December 66. Lou Bon on Fontana. It's called Ooh, You Cheater.
That I know it, but your friend came to me and told it. Ooh, you cheated. I thought that I couldn't do without you. I couldn't believe nothing bad about you. So in love was little old me. So in love that I couldn't see, oh no. Too time the game you were playing. You never meant the words you've been saying, no. Cheater, cheater, cheater. Little old me, so in love that I couldn't see, oh no. The two-time the the game you were playing. You never meant the words you've been saying. Ooh, little cheater. And right now, you're riding high, but you're gonna tumble by and by, and then you cry. Boo, 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 little cheater.
Yeah, for 10 cents. That's all worth the 10 cents. Found out in the wild there. Lou Bond's his name. December 1966 on the Fontana label. That's his first record. Ooh, You Cheater is the name of the tune. Two more 45s to go before Johnny G signs off here on the Vinyltreasure show. And here's a gal from Fayetteville, North Carolina. She signed with, I think, Barry Records is High Weiss's label, if I'm not mistaken. She signed with Barry Records in the fall of 1966. Her debut 45 was a song called Never Leave Me, which would be her biggest hit, but she had 5 releases on the Barry label. Let's give a listen to the A-side of her what? Doesn't say. But it's from November of 1966. Her name is Thelma Jones. Thelma Jones on Barry Records, and it's a one-word title. The song is called Stronger. B-sides here on the Vinyltreasure show. So that's the B-side to her first. She had 5 releases on the Barry label. The flip side of this is Never Never Leave Me, I take it, Charlene. I didn't see. Should have said B-side. Yes, so anyway, there you go. That is her first record there, but the B-side to her first tune, Thelma Jones, November 1966 on the Barry label, Stronger is the name of the tune. Johnny G's Getting Weaker. That's it for the Vinyl Treasure Show tonight. Thank you all for tuning in to the Vinyl Treasure Show. Hope you enjoyed the tunes tonight. If you need to get in touch with me, send me an email. That's really the best way to send me your requests at vinyltreasures@aol.com. You can also talk about the show. Been taking ideas for the Monday night, the Monday afternoon show, because there's a couple things I want to do. I know, Ron Balboni, you like teen records, so I plan on playing some teen records. Other people like blues and single artists and up-tempos and rockabilly, so all type country crossovers. Somebody even wanted me to do a gospel show. We can do an all 78 show. I got countdowns I can do. I got people have been sending me some very cool lists of radio stations that I just got to make sure, and these would be R&B stations, of course, that I have all the records to. There are quite a few that I do. I just have to find them, and let's just hope I don't get a copyright strike on the big hits. So we'll see how that goes. We got to try it. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in tonight. Hope you dug on the tunes. We're going to close the show tonight with this group. Well, on the label, on the Scepter label, they're called Hal and the Prophets, but that is a mistake because it's supposed to be Pal and the Prophets with a lead singer of Pal Palmer. So I don't know what happened here. Something happened with Scepter Records when they put this out. So it's more of a typographical error, I think, because in the trade papers they advertised this record and they advertised it as Pal and the Prophets in the December 64 Billboard magazine. But somehow they changed it on the label. Who knows? It's probably a typo. Either way, I like both sides of this. The flip side's an up-tempo. We're going to close with the ballad tonight. This tune produced by Joe Veneri. This is from November 64. Our closer is by Hal or Pal and the Prophets on Scepter Records. It's called She's Doing Fine. That's the name of it. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. Hope you enjoyed the show this evening. I'll be back next Wednesday night beginning at 9 p.m. right here on Oldies and More Radio, also on YouTube. Thank you, Charlene, for all your help. If you like 1950s and early 60s, tune in on Saturday night at 9 o'clock. We got a big crowd there for that Saturday night show with all requests. It's basically an all-request show. So thank you all again for tuning in. Thank you again for helping me get to 1,000 subscribers and for sticking around, those of you listening over in the UK. But anyway, that's it, folks. I'm out of here. Just want to say, everybody, so long.
She's doing fine. Oh, yes, she is. Just wait and see.